8 January 1989. British Midland Flight 92 was on a scheduled flight from London Heathrow to Belfast International, Northern Ireland. The aircraft operated was a Boeing 737-400, registration GOBME. This brand new 737-400 has clocked just 521 hours in the air. The flight is scheduled to take just 75 minutes. As the plane was climbing through 28,300 feet to their cruising altitude of 35,000 feet, a pounding noise was heard, and there were severe vibrations. In addition, smoke was entering the cabin through the ventilation system, and several passengers seated near the rear of the aircraft noticed smoke and sparks coming out from the left engine. The pilots did not know the source of the problem and struggled to sort out the issue. The flight was diverted to nearby East Midlands Airport at the suggestion of British Midland Airways operations. During the final approach to the East Midlands Airport, the left engine burst into flames and ceased operating entirely. Just before crossing the M1 motorway, the tail struck the ground and the aircraft bounced back into the air and over the motorway, knocking down trees and a lamppost before crashing on the far embankment and breaking into three sections approximately 475 meters short of the active runway's paved surface. Remarkably, there were no vehicles on that part of the motorway at the moment of the crash.
So, what went wrong? While Flight 92 was climbing through 28,300 feet to reach its cruising altitude of 35,000 feet, a blade detached from the fan of the left CFM International CFM56 engine. Captain Kevin Hunt had disengaged the plane's autopilot to reduce the throttle of what he thought was the malfunctioned right engine, when in actual fact, the malfunctioned engine was the left one. When the auto throttle was disengaged, the fuel flow of the left engine was reduced, and the excess fuel which had been igniting in the jet exhaust disappeared. Therefore, the ongoing damage was reduced, the smoke smell ceased, and the vibration reduced. When the pilots completely shut down the right engine, they could no longer smell the smoke, which led them to believe that they had correctly dealt with the problem. In previous version of the 737, the left air conditioning pack, fed with compressor bleed air from the left engines, supplied air to the flight deck, while the right air conditioning pack, fed from the right engine, supplied air to the cabin. On the 737-400, the left pack feeds the flight deck but also feeds the after cabin zone, while the right feeds the forward cabin. The pilots had been used to the older version of the aircraft and did not realize that this aircraft, which had only been flown by British Midland for only 521 hours over a 2-month period, was different. The captain claimed that his perception of smoke coming forward from the cabin led him to assume that the problem was with the right engine. The pilots then throttled back the right engine instead of the malfunctioned left engine. They had no way of visually checking the engines from the cockpit, and the cabin crew did not inform them that smokes and flames have been seen from the left engine.
And instead commenced descent. Dials on the two vibration gauges, one for each engine, were small and the LED needle went around the outside of the dial as opposed to the inside as in the previous 737 series aircraft. The pilots received no simulator training on the new model as there was no simulator for 737-400 existed. During the period of time, vibration indicators were known for being unreliable and pilots usually ignored it. But unknown to them, this was one of the first aircraft to have a very accurate vibration readout. During the final approach to East Midlands Airport, more fuel was pumped into the damaged left engine to maintain speed, which caused it to cease operation entirely and burst into flames. The flight crew attempted to restart the right engine by windmilling, which is using the air flowing through the engine to rotate the turbine blades and start the engine. But the aircraft by now was flying at 185 kilometers per hour, which is too slow. When the pilot reported that there was an issue regarding the right engine and had to shut it down, passengers who were sitting beside the window were able to see flames coming out of the left engine. According to the BBC News, the passenger, Mervyn Finlay, who was sitting on seat 21 by the window, saw flames coming up but did not have the courage to tell the stewardess that the problem was actually on the left engine.
Now that we have covered what went wrong with the pilots, it's time to talk about what went wrong with the engine. Analysis of the engine from the crash determined the fan blades from the low-pressure Stage 1 compressor of the updated CFM International CFM56 engine used on the 737-400 was subjected to abnormal amounts of vibration when operating at high power settings above 10,000 feet. As it was an upgrade to an existing engine, in-flight testing was not mandatory, and the engine had only been tested in the laboratory. This unnoticed vibration created excessive metal fatigue in the fan blades, and on this aircraft, it caused one of the fan blades to break off. This damaged the engine terminally and also upset its delicate balance, causing a reduction in power and an increase in vibration. The autotrotter attempted to compensate for this by increasing the fuel flow to the engine. The damaged engine was unable to burn all the additional fuel, with much of it igniting in the excess flow, hence creating a large trail of flame behind the engine. Upon this discovery, the remaining 99 Boeing 737-400s then in service were grounded and the engines modified. Following the crash, it is now mandatory to test all newly designed and significantly redesigned turbofan engines under representative flight conditions. Better communication could be done between the cockpit and the passengers, because if the passengers are speaking up, the cockpit will not be able to know the situation better, since the flight crews do not have direct vision of the engine.
Finally, it is time to share the solution that our group have came up with. We would recommend all airlines and planes to include a safety guidebook in every aircraft, which would encourage passengers to inform any of the cabin or flight crew members if they notice any abnormalities. Hopefully, passengers who spotted abnormalities will report it to the cabin crew as soon as possible. Also, we would propose for pilots to familiarize themselves with the model of the aircraft that they are flying. As elaborated beforehand, the assumptions made by the captain led to the crash of the British Midland Flight 92. A simple day course can refresh the pilot's understanding of an aircraft, hence preventing any mixed up of information that might result in any accidents. There should also be live video cameras or mirrors that could allow the pilots to check on the conditions of the aircraft and engines. This way, the reliability of the damage reports the pilot receive will increase with the support of the concrete evidence, and the pilots will be able to make the correct decisions based on their accurate deduction. Thank you very much.